You wake up one lovely morning with a surprising email. Unusual login attempt detected. You haven't touched that random app account in months, but someone else just did. Now you can't log into a bunch of accounts, your identity information is compromised, and the bank account is emptier than a fridge before payday, all because of a single password leak. So let's talk about how hackers steal passwords, what they can and can't use them for, and how you can protect yourself. A single leaked password can open many doors for a hacker, especially if a hacker gets into an account that's tied to others, like your email. Suddenly you're getting letters about loans you never took out, blackmailed about messages or documents that should have stayed private. Okay, alright, that's a very worst case scenario, but still the prospects are scary. Not to mention that through your compromised accounts, your friends and family can get hacked too if they fall for the fake you messages with phishing links. So let's talk about how hackers steal passwords. The biggest news these days is the never-ending data leak avalanche, like the 183 million email password compilation. These can happen through weak security, system vulnerabilities, or due to some poor big corp employee clicking the wrong button. Hackers can use these password leak databases like skeleton keys, rattling every lock on your accounts until one pops open. And if you reuse the same password, you can lose multiple accounts really fast. Now, if a hacker gets a database with hashed passwords, there's also no guarantee they're safe. Threat actors can try to reverse engineer passwords using pre-computed so-called rainbow tables. And I kid you not, the best way to prevent that is called salting the password. Sounds like you're trying to get rid of some fake creature, but a salted password is basically a password that's got a random string of characters added before hashing it. This ensures that even if some users have the exact same password, their hashes will be unique and therefore protected from the rainbow monsters. I mean, rainbow tables. Now, in the case of a leak, you can mostly blame somebody else, but in a lot of stolen password cases, it's your own fault, at least partially. One of the most common ways to get your password leaked, well, more like stolen, is falling for a social engineering scheme. For example, phishing. The hacker will dangle some realistic looking email or SMS, a fake password reset message, a tempting discount offer, a package delivery clarification. You can often spot these things through weird grammar, fake urgency, strange websites, or email addresses, but that being said, with the AI malware boom, it is getting harder and harder, so overall it is better to rely on tools designed to spot these things. From experience, NordVPN's Threat Protection Pro feature is great at blocking phishing attempts, and it even got certified for it. Now, a harmless looking document or PDF in an email can also lead to the attacker installing malware on your device. Or you could get it through a malicious ad, a compromised USB stick, or a random QR code. Specifically for password stealing, the most common malware types are keyloggers, ones that quietly record every press on your keyboard and send it out to the attacker. Another way to gain access to your passwords is to infiltrate your internet connection, mostly within unsafe public Wi-Fi spots. They can position themselves between you and the service you're trying to access, this way snooping on everything you're doing. Or they can set up fake Wi-Fi access points and puppeteer the whole thing. To me, the scariest thing of all is session hijacking, which is what happened to Linus Tech Tips when hackers completely took over their YouTube accounts. They were sent a fake sponsor deal PDF which contained malware and copied session tokens. These are what keep you logged into your account without the need to input a password every time. This way, the hackers bypass the need for a password entirely. And to be fair, there is nothing much to be done about this one besides being suspicious of email attachments that you open and having a good antivirus in place. In most cases, however, a weak, stolen, or leaked password is the main issue, and the best solution is to just ditch passwords altogether. Have you heard of Passkeys yet? With these, instead of typing a password, you only have to confirm that it's really you, with your fingerprint, face scan, or your device PIN. This way you don't have to remember anything, and because there's no passwords, there's nothing for hackers to steal. Each passkey is split in two. One part stays safely on your device, and the other part sits with the service you're logging into. Since neither works without the other, passkeys are extremely hard for anyone to get their hands on. Now, admittedly, there are a few problems with passkeys. For example, if you have an Android phone and a Windows PC, it is pretty much impossible to get them to sync. And if you lose your primary device, you can lose access to your passkeys and accounts in a blink. On top of that, passkeys are not yet available on every website. Sure, the list is long and it's getting longer, but it's not infinite. Now, a solution to most of these issues is actually just a password manager. Most of them nowadays can store passkeys, and this way they aren't locked to just one device but synced across any operating system that you have the app on. Since everything is protected with strong modern encryption, cracking into it is basically impossible. At this point, the only real problem with passkeys is that not every website or app supports them. So you'll still need to deal with passwords in a lot of places, but this is also something a password manager is great for, if not essential. For starters, they keep everything in an encrypted vault, and due to zero-knowledge architecture, all the data is scrambled locally, reaching the safe storage cloud already in an undecipherable format. Another great perk is the ability to generate actually strong passwords, and you won't have to remember them due to autofill tools or the good old copy-paste. If you need to share a login, you can do it securely through the app too. Some, if not most, password managers also have tools to alert you if any of your accounts have been caught in a data breach. Now, there are many apps that can do all of this, but let me show you a few of my favorite recommendations. The one I currently use is NordPass. I really like the modern look of it, and it is packed not only with the latest encryption technology, but with useful extra features too. There's a data breach scanner that keeps an eye out for leaks, and a password health check tool that flags weak, old, or reused passwords. Just, make sure you actually fix them. NordPass also has solid passkey support. It will even prompt you when a site supports passkeys, or you can check for yourself in the passkey section of the app. And honestly, it's one of the most affordable options out there. You can even grab a special deal through my QR code or the link in the description of the video. However, I highly recommend getting NordPass as a bundle with NordVPN. It is cheaper than getting them separately and contains the threat protection tool, which will scan your downloads for malware and warn you about potentially malicious sites. This way you'll be protected from all sides. I've also spent some time with 1Password, and to me, it's one of the easiest to get used to, or get your parents used to. Besides safely storing your passwords and pretty much any other info that you can think of, one of the best 1Password features is Watchtower. It keeps an eye out for data leaks and even shows which of your accounts support passkeys, so that you'll have an easier time making the switch. Another thing I really like is that there's a security key for extra login protection. Even if someone somehow gets your main password, they'd still be locked out without those extra string of numbers and letters, which only you will have. And you don't need to input it every time, only when you're first logging in from a new device. And what's cool about this password manager is that they put a 14-day free trial on you, whether you want it or not, so you can test out the app before committing. And then there is Proton Pass, which I'd say is the most privacy-focused option on my list. And it's open source and run by a non-profit foundation. A feature I've really come to appreciate from them is the built-in 2FA authenticator. It replaces Google Authenticator completely, so even if your Google account gets compromised, your 2FA code stays safe and locked away. In terms of features, it's a bit simpler compared to NordPass and 1Password, but it nails the essentials with strong encryption, clean design, and of course, passkey support. The only minus is that Proton can be a little bit on the pricey side, but hey, just like with the previous two options, you can grab a discount for it. Overall, when it comes to password security, the future is in passkeys. But until every site catches up, password managers are the best way to bridge that gap. So yeah, take a few minutes, set up a proper password manager, and you will thank yourself later when your logins are secured, synced, and carefully watched for leaks or weak spots. However, don't forget that a password manager isn't a foolproof solution to all problems. I highly recommend setting yourself up with a good antivirus and a VPN for secure online browsing. I've got videos on the best choices for each of these on the channel, so make sure to subscribe and drop a like if you watched this far. Cheers.